I guess I would say that it's if I think I'm the one who gets to decide that, then it's not really the bigger plan. Then it's Barrett's plan. And the real sort of deep humility that I'm aspiring to, and that I think that this path leads us to, is to not have a personal plan, actually. To let it all be Spirit's plan, to let it all be the guidance and intuition that wants to flow through. And when we do that, it can look very different than my personal idea, any of our ideas of what it should look like or what's best.
You got me there, about the should part, that there's a lot of should in your life. I mean, remember last weekend when we were talking, and with a friend, she was like, sometimes I just feel like, when you're meeting people, family, friends, you only like do it to just check that okay, now I met him, and now I met her, and that's done. Like, this is a part of your routine to keep, checklist, like just to keep your friends and your family
happy.
And
you could have a whole checklist life.
And I think that people are afraid, or I can speak for myself, that I will live with regrets if I don't do this. If I don't text my dad every night good night, if I don't call him once a week or meet him, like, I will have so much regrets the day he'll leave us. And that's something that is hunting me. I know that many times I do things just because I have to do it. Like, I have to go and hang out there because, And I just think that if I don't do it, I will regret it so much when they leave.
I had those exact same thoughts.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially in the first few months of this kind of new direction for me, I had thought, oh my God, what if my mom dies right now? And this is, what I have to live with. And I don't know, I think they're just really big kind of pre-programmed thoughts in us about this is why I can't, listen to what's in my heart and listen to what really I feel to do, even if it's different. Yeah, I remember the first time a friend of mine who is not in the same kind of teaching that we're in, but is also a spiritual person, she talked about how she had this shift with her mother, that her mother expected if she called her daughter, my friend, that her, my friend had to call her back. And she's like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to call you back just because you called me. How about if you want to talk, you call me. I may or may not answer. I may or may not call you back. I will if I feel like it. And if it's been a while since you called me and nothing's happened and you want to talk, you can call again. I may or may not answer. I may or may not call you back, but it was this big shift that she went through.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a big deal for her. And when I first heard that, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do that, because I was still in the transaction.
Yeah.
It was a transaction. Anytime I got a call from a parent or sibling, okay, I have to call back, and I should call back in 2 days at the most, otherwise they're going to start to worry about me. I had all these sort of rules that I was living by, and it was heavy. And I didn't think of it as heavy. I thought, oh, this is just what you do. But now, in hindsight, now that I don't do any of that, I'm like, oh, that feels really heavy to have to live by those kinds of beliefs.
Yeah. But I think for me, is to like start off with friends. Like, what friends do I want? Where do I feel like I don't have to call them back, like in 3 months, but I know I still have them when I do call them. And I have friends where I know that, okay, now I have to call because to keep this friendship alive. And I have friends one of my best friends, it can take like 3 months before we hang out. But she knows it, I know. It's so nice because we both are on the same level with this. We both feel like, okay, we don't need
You
to
always
hang out.
know where you have each
Yeah,
other.
I always
and-
know where I have her, and it's so nice, like that she is. You will still. She says that, like, I haven't seen you in 1 year, but remember, you're still my best friend. Like, and I would love to hang out with you more, but I understand that you don't have time always. I mean, it's so nice to have that kind of relationship where you don't put vad heter det på engelska, förväntningar, förhoppningar,
Expectation.
expectations, ja.